why the Narasimham Committee recommendations are in part one of the most important reasons why the banking sector is safe today, nearly 30 years after all these reforms have been passed and all these recommendations have been made. So, in fact, there is even a joke in banking circles, from what I hear from one of my friends, that if there is something which is not stipulated in the Banking Regulation Act, or if there is something which is not stipulated in the RBI Master Circular, what the banks used to see is that whether there is anything given in the Narasimham Committee, we will take that as the guideline and we will accordingly do it. So that is the extent to which the Narasimham Committee is important in the banking sector. All right. So one of the other things was the fact that he pioneered the three-tier system of banks. We have just gone into it, tier one banks, tier two banks, which are the most important banks. We want four major kinds of banks, one at the international level, national level, local level. He also gave the fact that he also conceptualized regional rural banks being little more important than what their role at that point of time was, etc. So this is just a little bit of a history lesson, and the reason why the Narasimham Committee is given so much prominence. The reason why I have not gone to the Narasimham Committee recommendations is only some of them have been implemented in part over the various years since the recommendations have been given. But many of them, if implemented, they would most certainly strengthen the banking sector even further today. All right. So, in fact, for his contribution to the banking sector, Mr. Narasimham was given the Padma Vibhushan in the year 2000. And there is even a very interesting story about him. I read in one of the speeches of RBI governors that initially he was a cricketer and he was unfortunately not able to make it to the selections because of the fact that he made it to the selections, but he was rejected for the fact that he had short-sightedness or myopia, hypermetropia, I'm not sure which one, the scientific term. So the RBI governor in one of his speeches had said that while he faced the issue of short-sightedness in his youth, his far-sighted and long-sighted vision was what has helped keep the banking sector safe even after all these years. So that is why I thought we should recognize the contributions of one of the most important persons in the banking sector until date before we go on to the next portion of this, because all these are guidelines and everything which have been formulated much thereafter, most of them can be traced back to these two reports. All right. So